those are so. There's a bunch of venues that I haven't had a formal meeting. All those venues have had formal meetings.
Cool. Do you? What?
Just to turn it on. It's 5 minutes. I really hope I don't fuck up the USB thing.
Did you already test this?
Yes. Audio, yeah. Oh. Oh, I could have done that. It's far too late, and I am live right now, which is fine. Yeah, sorry. Oh, wait, where'd my stream chat go? Nice. I lost my stream chat. Did I? Oh no, I put it over here. There we go. So professional. Oh, BGs. Wait, why didn't my chat come up? I'm not great at streaming, so excuse me if this is not easy. Oh damn, right on time. You got it, man. Norjask. Oh, hi Norjask. I know who you are. Tell me if the audio is any good. Or if it's not good, I guess more importantly. I did test it, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I'm a monkey here. And then obviously, well, let's see here. Oh, that's nothing important. Where'd my stream chat go? Where'd my stream chat go? That's cool. Cool. Yeah, no clipping. Hello. Oh yeah. Hi. Thanks for the retweet, Reddit. I'm excited to do that AMA tomorrow. That'll be cool. There's no music. I'm not gonna put on music. I Maybe I should have put on music because it's super boring without music, but I don't know. This isn't like a entertainment stream or anything. And if anything, this is more like so I can put it on YouTube. And if someone's like, "Oh, I have questions on what this is about," then I can just send them to YouTube instead of just answering the question, because that's like the main purpose of this is so I don't have to tell 100 people what I'm doing, and that way there's something online. I bodied Joe Monday. I bodied that geef. You can sing. No, not gonna sing. And also, shout outs to Twitch chat name Manuel that has their date of birth in it. That sounds pretty good. Don't put on music. Oh, you're right. See, there you go. That's why I don't. That's why I didn't put on music. That's the reason I didn't put on music. Not because I thought of that. It's because I thought of that. I will. I will link this in the AMA. Thank you. But yeah. Let me see here. Let me make sure I have everything. I don't really want to wait for people to fill in because if people fill in, that's awesome. If only 10 people are in here, that's fine. I want to put this online, but that's cool. And I'll have this Twitch chat on, but I want to take questions afterwards. Oh, can I put that on here somehow? Yeah, you know what? Let me add. Can I add text? Yes. I'm gonna add. Let me see here. We'll take questions after slideshow, just in case if people want to ask questions. Oh my goodness. How do I stream? No, that's not how you stream. Can I move this? Select font. File, edit color. Let me see here. Yeah, it's not gonna show up. Hold on. I haven't even looked at the chat. I'm trying to figure out where I can put this. Test. First. Test. Alright, so I don't know how to really use this, and I don't know why this isn't moving. Can someone do me a favor in the stream chat? Can someone, maybe AJ, I don't know, can someone just in the stream chat put a message like every 10 minutes? Questions will be taken after the presentation. Because I don't want to be looking too much at the stream chat. I don't want to look at the stream chat while I'm doing the presentation. And I will try to, but I don't want to like stop until I'm done. Okay. I think this is pretty good to start. Hello. All right, so we'll get started here. I have water. I do. Cool. I don't have a lot of water. I've made a terrible mistake. Let me get water, and then we'll do it. Hold on. Okay, hold on, mod. I think I just made you a mod, AJ. You have added AJ as a moderator of this room. Cool. Awesome. All right. 1 second. Beer Bay. It's in Massachusetts. Hold on. Okay. Watching this before I shower. Thanks. Oh no, you're sick. Swing my sword. I have given AJ mod, boys. I'm sorry in advance. I'm so sorry. All right. So I'm ready. Water. Ready to go. So we'll get this started. I don't know how long this will be. It's like 8 slides. But it shouldn't be too long. After the presentation, I will field questions and do a Q&A. But yeah, let's get started. If you guys are either tuning in, have looked at, backed, supported, or talked to me about the Kickstarter and the project I'm doing, I really appreciate that. I haven't done any messaging, and I'm going to message people individually and talk to them about not only just backer rewards, but thanking you for donating. If you've donated and you haven't heard from me, don't take personal offense to it. I've been like super busy getting this organized. So I just wanted to say from the bottom of my heart, I really thank you for the support in what I'm trying to do here, especially the people who didn't just blindly did it without knowing what I was doing. So you guys are so awesome. It's really I'm putting my heart and soul into this, and I'm really just trying to go all in with this. I'm putting everything out there to make this work and make the Massachusetts scene better. So let's talk about it. The company name is called the Traveling Controller. Let's see here. I can use this, right? Cool. So it's the Traveling Controller. That's the icon that's plastered all over it. Oh, you know what? Before I get started, so I want to thank Game Underground for letting me stream on their Twitch channel. You can see the GU, the guts symbol on there. That's our big major tournament in November. Super excited. Clutch It Out. I'll be working with them to do T-shirts. I believe they made this shirt. I'll give them credit for it. But yeah, let's get going. So traveling controller, and I promise you, the whole thing is not just a bunch of words that you're forced to read. But I did want to put the mission statement on here. I'll just read it. The traveling controller's mission statement. My goal for the traveling controller is providing consistent venues for fighting game players to attend to and learn the magic of the SGC through all of Massachusetts. In order for venues to be successful, they need 3 things: equipment, event tournament organizers, and marketing. Um, I've been doing this a little bit about myself before we get into this. If you don't know me, my name's Daniel Lucky D Layman. I competed in Street Fighter 4. I played a lot of Dhalsim. I competed in Street Fighter 5. I no longer play Dhalsim. I kind of play Dhalsim, but I also play Cammy. More importantly, I've been a tournament organizer for the venue Game Underground, who is behind Guts. I've been doing that since 2010 or 2010, maybe 2009. I don't remember. It's a long time. So if you've ever been a part of the Massachusetts scene and went to Game Universe or Game Underground on Fridays, I've literally been there every Friday night since that time. So what 52 times 8 is a lot. um, so I've been doing this for a while. I'm not new to the tournament scene. I'm not new to the event scene. Throughout my tenure through Street Fighter 4, I've seen a lot of ups and downs. Big ups to Game Underground and Jamie and Alana. They've been here through thick and thin. They're by far the longest lasting venue that the Massachusetts fighting game scene has had since Tokyo Game Action back before Street Fighter 4, and they're still here and they're not going anywhere. So really big ups to them. But the point is, I've seen a lot of events come and go, and they all have had everyone who runs an event, they have the passion and they love the FGC. That's never the issue. The issue is really more like monetary or these 3 things that I'm listing here. There's issues of how they keep going. And I don't want to see that, especially with Street Fighter 5 and all these new games coming out and this whole era of Street Fighter or of fighting games. I want to see them flourish. I want to see them stick around, continue to grow, and most importantly, I want uh, try to help every venue and player in Massachusetts have somewhere to go. I think, and I play other games. I play League. I dabbled in Overwatch. I've played other esports. Um, they're fun. I love League of Legends. It's super fun. But I think fighting games have a special place in that because you have to physically go somewhere and meet someone and talk about the game and have social interactions. It's so important, and it's why the fighting. I mean, all my friends. My roommate is a fighting game player. Um, I got my last job from fighting games. Everyone I associate with is pretty much through fighting games right now, and it's awesome. I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. And the the idea that this is something that we can't do forever. I think everyone is slowly realizing, no, I want to keep being part of the FGC, even if I don't compete anymore. I want to still have these interactions and meet these people and have similar interest and love of the game. I'm pretty sure I'm not saying anything that everyone here doesn't feel. Um, and that's why I'm going all in. That's why I'm making this my full time job. And that's why I'm asking for your support on the Kickstarter, which is awesome. I mean, if you guys already see it, it's at $5,000. I'm asking for 6,500 as startup money. You guys are, I can't thank you enough. So let's get going. Equipment, event, tournament organizer, and marketing. So we'll go next slide. Equipment. So this is the main portion of where the money is going. The equipment is so let's talk about this. Obviously, venues need setups. Um, Traditionally, venues setups are provided by either the venue if it's large enough, i.e., Game Underground, or if it's just someone who wants to host, who finds a venue, finds a place for us to play, um, and people bring setups, which is great. It to an extent works, but there are issues. There's a lot of pressure on the event organizers and the players themselves to bring setups, creating a lot of stress that's unneeded. Um, if you're a tournament organizer and you want to bring setups, you have to organize that every week. You're not really making any money off of this. No one's in this for money, including myself. It's hard. Um, so it takes a lot of stress and time to just figure out, hey, can these 8 people bring setups? No, okay. Can you bring a setup? Do you have a game? You don't? Okay. Can I get a disc over here? It's a nightmare. And same with the players. It is unfair to ask players to bring setups because it creates stress for the players. Um, if you're a player who wants to bring setups to a venue out of the kindness of your heart, if you're a great person, it will wear on you. And I know this out of experience. Eventually, you don't want to have to lug that Asus monitor. You don't want to unplug it from your computer or system. You don't want to pack it all up. It's a hassle. It's a pain. You start feeling stressed that if you don't bring it, they don't have the game. Um, you're the only person that brings Skullgirls, so it's if you don't bring it, it doesn't happen. It's too much. So the first thing that's foremost is the majority of the money will go to equipment, specifically monitors, speakers, and games. I don't have specifics. Monitors obviously will most likely be BenQ monitors models. I want them to all have speakers. All my setups, I want to have sound. I'm sick of venues. I mean, the not having game sound is almost accepted at this point, and it's awful if you play at a competitive level. So I want all 8 of my setups to have speakers and games. And I really want to stress this. This is not solely Street Fighter Five, and I'm gonna get into this, but I want every venue to have 3 games that I, at minimum, cater to at each event I go to. Um, I want to make sure that there is, if you are obviously every event will have Street Fighter Five. That's the main game. Um, but I want to make sure that Guilty Gear players have a place to play. I want to make sure King of Fighters players have a place to play. I want to make sure Blaze Blue. I want to make sure Tekken when it comes out, Injustice, and anime. Every fighting game player, if you have a love for a game, I want to make sure that there's somewhere in Massachusetts that you can call home, that you can go to, and know there are people there to play. So that's really important to me. So it's not just Street Fighter. The money will go to buying copies of every fighting game. I don't know if I'll have 8 copies of Skullgirls, but I'll have enough to accordingly. And I want to make sure every game is at every venue. So next slide, event organizer. So I want to make sure that I help run events. I've been running the Game Underground event for a while, like I said. I want to make sure that every venue has someone there, and this isn't a shot at the current venues. Some events I won't have to run at all because in Massachusetts there's a ton of events or tournament organizers who are just as experienced as I am, or know what they're doing, and they don't need me for that portion of it, and that's fine. But I want to be able to help in any way I can. So here's the rundown. Equipment setup. I'm going to be at every venue hours before they start. So if you've got a 7 o'clock start time, I'm going to be there at 5. I'm going to make sure everything's set up. I'm going to make sure when you walk into that venue, you're playing. You're not setting up equipment. You're not waiting around for equipment. You're there. You're there and you're playing. Period. I want to help run the events in the sense of either running the tournament or setting up other events for it. I want to make sure that's run smoothly. I want to make sure if we have a 7 o'clock start time, that's the start time. I know FGC traditionally that is not always the case, including myself. I'm just to blame, but I want to make sure everything's run on time now. I want to make sure I'm on time and everyone's on time. And then also running ideas for new players along with tournament vets. I want to make sure that new players that come in have somewhere to go to learn about the community in the game. Whether that's free coachings, whether that's set up specifically for new players, whether that's what have you. I want to make sure that not just events aren't just tournaments now. Tournaments are awesome. Tournaments are fantastic. That's the bloodline of the community. But it is super brutal for a new player to have never gone to an event to go 0-2, and then all the setups are used up for tournament for hours. That's super hard. I don't want that to happen anymore. So I want to make sure that if you're there and you're new, you have a place to play and people to play. So I really want to make sure that new players can learn the game, how that's supposed to be done in person. All right. Let's see here. Next. And again, if you're just joining us or in the middle of this, I'm fielding questions afterwards. So I do have the stream chat open. I'm not trying to read it right now though, but I will get to you guys. So let's talk about the marketing portion of it. And this is big. This is a big one. So bringing in new players and organizing current players. So there's a couple different things going on here. Let's start about new players. I learned of the FGC when I went to UMass Amherst, and I was a pad PS2 Third Strike player, and I thought I was so nice. I thought it was so good, and my combos were, if you played Third Strike, universal overhead uppercut, which does not combo. That was like my thing. And I went to the UMass Game Club, not the fighting game club, just the game club, and I met someone, Kenny Iron Zen, and he didn't know who I was, and I didn't know who he was, and we played. There was a PS2 set up for Third Strike, and he had that old Tekken 5 PS2 arcade stick, which first arcade stick I'd ever seen in person, and he beat me with Hugo, who he doesn't even play the game or the character, and he beat me like 20 straight. And that was the first time I'd ever met someone who was good at fighting games and like was part of the community. Kenny Iron Zen is a tournament veteran, and because of that, I started to reach out and go to places, and I found Tokyo Game Action, and then found Game Universe, and Street Fighter 4 came out, and that's all history. So I think there are plenty of people out there who have interest in the fighting game community, and with I want to start a new campaign to get these players out here. So print-based guerrilla marketing. What does that mean? Um, with Peter Hahn, Petey, for you guys in the Massachusetts scene, he's helping me create flyers that I'm going to physically take or send to the appropriate places or what have you, and put them up in the appropriate places, colleges, coffee shops, game clubs, what have you, in the local area of the venues that I'm working with, to make sure that they know. Oh, cool! I've seen Evo. I saw ESPN Evo. I've seen Mike Ross on Twitch. I didn't even know there was a local scene. Or I just started getting into anime fighters or Street Fighter. I just started. Where do I go? Bring them in. Bring them into the community. Bring them into the venues. um, for those of you who don't know, MFC Census. So there's a Facebook group for Massachusetts fighters. It's called MFC, Massachusetts Fighting Community. Right? In that group, it's about 800 people. Probably not 800 active people, but like probably 600 active people, maybe 5, something around there. The point is that is the Facebook group for our scene. And I want to bring in the new players and get them into MFC. Once you are in MFC, and this is important, you fill out the census. The census is the database that I can use to determine, if you guys haven't seen the census, it's basic information: name, location, games you play, and how far you're willing to travel to play those games. About 120 people have filled it out so far. Came out 48 hours ago, I think. 3 days ago. 2 days ago. Came out pretty soon, pretty recently. Already 100 have filled it out, 100 plus, so that's awesome. And I'll get more into this, but it's where we can know where you are and what you're playing. We'll get more into the census later. And then finally is the social media portion / telling players where to and when to go. Like I said, obviously I'm going to have a social media presence, Twitter, Facebook, of the Traveling Controller, but it's more in depth about that. It's not just me advertising events that I'm helping. I want to use the data to be able to, on a one-on-one basis, tell people, you want to play Guilty Gear? You're free when? This is where you go. And I'll just tell you guys, Game Underground. King of Fighters came out month and a half ago. You can't just set up King of Fighters. You can't just go on social media on the Game Underground Facebook group or MFC, and you can't just say, we'll have King of Fighters. It doesn't work. There's hurdles. If I'm a King of Fighters player and I live an hour away, how do I even know? Maybe you've told me King of Fighters are there. How do I even know people are going to be there? How do I even know how many setups there are? I don't know any of this. Is it even worth me going out there? What if I go out there and 2 people are there for King of Fighters? I'm never coming back. You don't come back. I know this from firsthand. So with this information, this company, I want to reach out and make sure, and getting organized on a one-on-one basis with everyone, that if I'm having King of Fighters at my venue, at an event I'm supporting, I not only want to make sure that 2 setups are dedicated to it, but that players are coming and players know that's where you go. So yeah, that's the marketing portion of it. Additional services. This is something that's a little more for Traveling Controller, but it is something that I'm going to continue to grow. I want to be able to offer stick repair, merchandise, and artwork / stick mods, and basically anything that is needed from a fighting game standpoint. Anything that I can lug in my car and provide as a service to you guys, I will. It's more of an add-on service of something that I think has value to people. Um, for example, so I'll be working with Alex Smith to do a lot of stick repair. And yes, you can do your own stick repair. And yes, it'll be cheaper if you can do that. But if you don't know how to, or if you can't, or don't have the time, I want to be able to at least provide it so it can be done. Like I said, uh, just trying to make sure that if you need or want new button layouts or your stick art done, um, or a T-shirt supporting the cause, whatever, what have you, I want to offer it as a service. Um, and obviously, I'll be thinking of or executing more things for everyone when ideas pop up. But just this is the start. Okay, so again, what is the MFC census and why is it so important that everyone fills it out? I already told this to you guys. The census is super important. It's super important that I'm able to tell, and the venues are able to tell where players are. I need to know. In order to create venues that have homes, I need to know where to bring the games. So, if you haven't filled out the census, take 2 minutes, fill it out. And the census is something that if you want to have a voice in our Massachusetts fighting game community, you want to support your game, this is how you do it. We're gonna get organized. We're gonna make sure that everyone can have a voice for their game. And if there are players out there who play the smaller games, we're gonna know where they all are, and we're gonna know where the best place to do it at. So we're gonna get organized. I need everyone. As it's almost more important. Obviously, we're not there on the Kickstarter, and we're close. And I love all the support I can get. But the census is if not more important. So fill out the census. So this is the business model of it. There are other things here, but I want to be very transparent with you. I am going all in on this. This is my job. I'm not working part time. I'm not doing this as a side thing. I want to do this full time. So here's my business plan, or at least like the basics of it. 5.5 venues a week, and we'll go through what venues we're already working with. But 5.5 venues a week, $2 per person. That is not an additional $2. What I'll be doing, and I've talked to every venue so far and worked through this, but I'm trying to be transparent. Is of the venue fee that we currently charge at events, whether it's $0 or $5, somehow I'm gonna get a $2 cut of per person. Whether that means we're gonna start charging $2, whether that means a venue that doesn't charge is gonna charge $5, and I'm gonna take a $2 cut. Whether a venue charges $5 and now we're gonna charge $7. My goal is to have $2 per person, and then and that's how I'm gonna keep sustained. My goal is in 6 months, get every venue to have 50 plus players, not just Street Fighter, but every game, just a fighting game atmosphere. And that's my game plan. I don't want you to think that it's as simple as that, but I want to be. The reason I have this is to tell you guys about the $2 part. Not that most of you have ever given me slack on venue fee or have ever given anyone slack on venue fee, but I want to be honest with you guys that this is going to happen. I'm not asking for much, obviously, but it is something that is a reality that venue fees are a thing to keep these venues growing. You want to support the community, this is how we do it. But yeah, so in 6 months' time, I want to have 50 plus people at each event, 5.5 venues a week. So let's talk about the venues. So these are the venues that, as of right now, so here's my game plan. And I apologize. All I have is this. I want to do a map, but I didn't have time. So I want to have a venue in Massachusetts catering to fighting games 1 day a week, almost every day of the week. Not only every day of the week, but in different parts of Massachusetts. So let's go down the list here. Altair, the workshop. That is the Lawrence community. That is Northern Mass. They host every other Monday. We're gonna change it to every Monday pretty soon. If you're either want to play fighting games on Monday or in the northern area and want a spot to call home, that's it. You go to Altair Mondays. Tuesdays, Southern Massachusetts, Platinum City Gaming, down in Taunton. If you're in Southern Mass and you want a place to call home, or you can play fighting games on Tuesday and you're willing to travel, Platinum City Gaming is where you go. That's where I'll be. And then we go down the list. Game Underground on Fridays. Always there, always will be. If you want to play on Fridays, you go to GU. If you're in the GU area, we're going to make sure that you know GU exists. That's where you go. NUFGC, Thursdays in Boston. Venue in Thursdays. Great scene. Great. Draken does a great job there. If you're in Boston and you want to go somewhere, or you're free on Thursdays, you go to NUFGC. Boston Anime FGC, they host monthlies on Saturdays, specifically catered to anime fighters. They already do a great job. That's who I'm going to be supporting. They'll be on Saturdays. MFC Census data, I'll make sure everyone who plays anime knows that's where they want to go if they want to go to an anime-centered event in Boston. I've talked to... These are the venues that I've officially talked to, and they're on board with the whole thing. There's plenty of other venues I haven't talked to that I want to talk to and will talk to. We're talking to another one in Boston with Big Blue. Common Grounds, I haven't talked to in Rhode Island yet. I'd love to talk to them. Havenshire has a venue. I'm considering doing one in Worcester for Western Mass, if there's enough people out there to warrant it. But the point is that there will be different places in Massachusetts that host fighting game venues. It won't work perfectly for everyone, but I want it to be there to be a different spot in Massachusetts in the different areas of Mass every day. So, typically how we all play fighting games is that we can go to one, maybe two events a week in person, and we play online the rest. I want to make sure that if Mondays work for you, you have a spot to go to. I want to make sure that if you live in Northern Mass and you can only go to Northern Mass areas, you have a spot. I want to make sure that if you're in Southern Mass and GU's too far for you, but you're 10 minutes away from Taunton, you now know where to go. I want to make sure that everyone has a place to call home. And obviously, this all caters around making sure getting everyone organized. And that's what I'm going to be doing. Let's see. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much the game plan. So we'll just go over it again. Equipment, event organizing, marketing, bringing in new players, bringing them into MFC, filling the census, and then organizing the current players. That's pretty much it. There are so many other things that I'm working on. And I know there are probably a million questions to do that you guys have concerns about. I love the support. I would much prefer the criticism because I know that you guys want this to succeed, want me to succeed, and I can't thank you enough for it. My biggest driving factor at this point is getting this Kickstarter funded. And then failing you guys. It's it can't happen. It won't happen. It's funny. I don't think there's anything legally binding me from doing the Kickstarter once it's funded. I don't remember reading anything about it. But my biggest fear is letting you guys down, and I'm telling you now, I'm putting my heart and soul into this to make sure that it succeeds and grows. So that way, in 6 months, when I look back and run the numbers and analyze what's working and what's not, the bottom line answer is that I can do this for years to come. Because the Massachusetts fighting game scene is just such a huge part of my life. I've met all my best friends from it, and everyone I've met either on a weekly basis or just one time has been so amazing, and it's such a great community. That's why I'm doing this. I'm not trying to make money off of this, even though I have to keep going. I'll be right on the line of black the entire time. But the reason I'm doing this is because it's what I love. Yeah. Let me drink some water. Nice. Nothing like a stream chat with some Kappa faces. Okay. Now I know I'm streaming. So I've talked for about half an hour. That sounds about right. I'd love to start fielding questions. I don't really have like a surefire way to do this. Let me, AJ, maybe AJ, why don't you take some questions that you've seen on there, or things that are common questions, and post them up, and that's what I'll go off of. So, yeah, why don't AJ? Why don't you take a second, throw some questions on there that you've seen on there, or if you guys have questions, try to send them at AJ, either private message or at AJ on the chat, and I'll start fielding what I can. And again, it's really important that I'm as transparent as possible with you guys. That's my goal. If you guys have questions after the stream and you don't have your question answered, social media right there. Feel free to contact me any way you want. Yeah, okay. Why not wear business attire? All right, AJ, that's your strike one. Let's take real questions. You get 2 strikes. This is not baseball. 2 strikes, and you're out. And I assign someone else this because I don't want to keep streaming. I want to turn this off and get to next level, so you guys can watch next level battle circuit if you're interested in it. But let's strike one. Again, I'd like to thank Game Underground for letting me stream on their stream. I'll be doing an AMA on if you don't get your question answered to, I'm doing an AMA on the Street Fighter Reddit. I just saw an article that they're trying to sponsor players. That's awesome. That's so cool that you guys are doing that. So I'll be doing an AMA tomorrow. I think at 1 on their Reddit too. So if you don't get your question fielded, you can do it. He picked AJ. He picked AJ over me. Says C Tuna, who is my girlfriend. I don't even know what to say to that. There is no right answer for what to say. The right answer was I saw AJ first. That's the right answer. Do you plan on incorporating a stream at some point? Good question. That is like the number one question. Yes, but not yet. And I'll go into detail about that. Obviously, the fighting game scene is growing. But in my opinion, the stream, other than tournaments, the stream game is very unorganized and, to be frank, niche. It's a niche market for streamers. It's small. So we only have X players that watch streams for fighting games, and watching fighting game streams for things that aren't big events are hard to watch. And that's on a personal base too. I have trouble watching streams that I don't know players. So in a world where in 6 months, in a world where we get 50 plus players at events, we can start talking about a stream, because we can start streaming something with value that is good that people will want to watch. And I'm talking, if you get 50 plus players at a venue, you start creating your own niche communities in each parts of mass. You can start having leagues. You can start having consistent crew battles. You can start having hype events. That is worth streaming, and that is worth watching. So yes, streaming is going to happen, but it's not yet. At the moment, there's nothing worth streaming, and we have to build that up. But yes, that is the direction it's going. All right, let me see here. Next question. Do you think you'll get by with 4 sets instead of 8? I honestly don't think 8's enough. Garrett Michael made a great point on my Facebook feed today. One of the big problems that this is going to solve at fighting game events is that, let's say you go to Geo, who has plentiful setups. They have a 30 to 40 man Street Fighter V bracket with other games. They have 6 Street Fighter V setups. Every setup is used for tournament, and there are casuals stop. Casuals end. They're done until the tournament's over, which can take hours. You go in 2, If you're not in a tournament, you got nothing to do. There's nothing. You're stuck. So I actually don't think 8 setups is enough. I want more, strictly so we can run events and make sure there are casuals. Like I said in the presentation, new players are super important. It's not just about the tournament players, even though they're a huge part of it. New players or casuals have to start happening during the entire time of events. So no, I don't think 8 setups. I actually think 8 setups isn't enough, but that's how much I want to ask for it first. And as we grow, and even though I'll be bringing setups, if we feel that we're getting a turnout where we need a couple more setups, I'll buy a couple more, or I'll ask people to bring setups specifically for this event. I want to make sure that people have a place to play, not just tournaments, and that's why I need more than 4 setups. I don't see another question that. Oh, let me see here. Will Third Strike be a part of the game? Okay. So this is why the census data is important. If you want to build a specific community at a venue near you, we need to talk. We need to talk privately, and we need to organize how and what game and how we're going to bring players. My 8 setups are mostly going to be dedicated to the 3 big games in the area. That's obviously Street Fighter V, and the 2 other games that, from the data, have players around the area. For example, the census data is initially telling me there's a lot of Marvel. I want to have Marvel because that's the players who play it, and that's how do you attract people to venues. If you play or have passion for a smaller game, that doesn't mean it's not going to happen at the venue. But you need to talk to me, and we need to get organized, and we need to talk about, can I support it? Can you support it? Who's coming? I'm not going to put the time into a game that has 2 players. You want to play Skullgirls? Let's figure out who's plays Skullgirls. Talk to people who play Skullgirls. Have them fill out the census. We'll know where they are. We'll know what venue to take them to. What's easiest for everyone. If you want to play your specific fighting game, let's talk. Let's talk and let's get organized. Bringing a setup and hoping that people play it with you, hoping you're getting. I want to make this clear. The Street Fighter V players are not going to play your game. They might, but you can't depend on it. And they're not there to play your game. They're there to play Street Fighter. You can't just bring it and hope. We have to get more organized than that. We have to talk to everyone. We have to make sure that we're all on the same page on, if you want to play Dead or Alive, if there aren't a lot of you, let's make sure we know where everyone is, and let's make sure that there's a center venue. This is the Dead or Alive venue. That way there's less stress. That way you don't have to worry about it. That way you don't have to go to GU on a Friday night 2 hours away, hoping to play DOA, no one shows up and drive back sad. Let's stop that, right? Let's see here. What else we got here? You will need a van. At the moment, I plan to put this all in my car. I've done measurements. I can do it. I'm not too worried about the space in my car. I'm not going to have one of those tacky vans with a sticker on the side of it. Not yet. Let's see. Any other questions that are worth noted? Oh, that's a good one. Are you keeping with the Rambats? Oh wait, is my thing not loading? Okay, it is. Rambats are a great idea, and it's something down the line. Let's get the players into the venues, and then we can start talking leagues. Rambat is an awesome league to use. It's a great proven system, and we can talk about implementing it. Are you willing to travel outside of Boston, Mass? Yes. Just in case you missed it, I'll go back to this slide. I'll just go down the list. Game Underground is in Natick, which is center Mass. Altair is northern Mass, Lawrence. Platinum City is southern Mass, south of Boston. NUFGC is Boston. BAFGC is Boston. I'm working with another Boston venue, working with a Worcester venue. I want to make sure that there's a place everywhere in Massachusetts. That way, If you can go on a certain day, you don't have to travel 2 hours to play, especially if it's hard for you to travel or what have you. Outside of Mass, so New Hampshire and Rhode Island and Connecticut, I've had some talks with. Big ups to the grid. We haven't had a talk yet. It's a little more difficult for me to say that with a yes or no. I want to help everyone. Rhode Island is in range. New Hampshire's in range. Connecticut is kind of in range. So we'll have to talk. Might need to get a system in place that's proven, but it's not out of the question. I want to talk. I want to help the Connecticut that's within my range. I want to help Southern Mass, and I want to help Rhode Island. Rhode Island is definitely in range. But yeah. Let me see here. For instance, will Street Fighter 3 be $1 or $20 entry for free Marvel? So the fracture players amongst all tournaments are occurring. In terms of fees, so we'll go about this again. The venue fee and the tournament fees are all different. The venue fee is strictly for myself and for the venues to stay open and active. When after that, how much money you'll have to pay to enter your specific game, we're going to talk to the players and the people we're passionate about. It won't be high. From my experience, at most, other than monthlies, other than the Game Underground monthly or the big Saturday events, for the most part, at max they're $5. We might even start talking about doing $3 tournaments because, again, especially for the smaller games or for the less active games, you're there to play your game and you want to get sharp at it, but you're not. We're not trying to. We're not trying to make this like a money thing for players. That's not the goal. Street Fighter 5. If you wanna compete at a high stakes, which I will help with, that's the time. There's a time and place for that, and that's at the monthly. That's at the GU big event. That's at the Boston events. That's on the Saturday events. That's at the big events that you're going there specifically to enter a tournament at high stake, high pressure, with money. So you know, I'm not sure how much we'll charge at each event for each game, but it won't be much. It won't be much because that's not our goal. What about power rankings? Again, there's a bunch of things we can work with, but before I even start mapping that out or talking about that, gotta get the players, gotta get the people in the venues. All right, I'm off of bulk geef. Wait, I'm out, but my offer of bulk geefs gym Street Fighter 5 guides still stands. I don't know what that means, and I'm scared, terrified. But yeah, yeah, I think that's it. About under an hour, which how much I about wanted to commit to this. I'll just bring up the contact page again. Thank you for watching. If you missed part of this, it's gonna go on YouTube. If you have questions, send me a message. It's all there. Is it all there? At Fortunate Daniel, Facebook Daniel Lehman, email LuckyDaniel87. If you're not part of MSC, go get in there. If you have questions for me, message me there. I didn't say this. This is probably pretty important. I plan to be operational mid-October. The Kickstarter has about 8 days left. Oh, wait. Hold on. I have to answer this. Is pumpkin pie S tier? Yes. I grew up with apple pie, pumpkin pie, and apple pie. So it goes Asian cakes. If you don't know what like an Asian, not a frosted American style cake, but Asian cakes, pumpkin pie, apple pie, everything else. Fight me. But again, contact me if you have questions about the Kickstarter, about the company, about the direction that I'm effing up somewhere. I'm an open book. I'm trying to be transparent as possible. Just shoot me a message. There was a question you missed. What question? Sea Tuna, Selena, post the question, and then that'll be the last question I do. Unless someone sneaks it in before then. Oh, there is. Okay. I'll answer this one beforehand. Sorry. I think that's Dan Cravat. Are you having a booth at each venue for this? I just assumed that you would be bringing and helping the venue with setups and whatnot, but with all the talks of modding and stuff, you'd have to have something like that. Correct. I will have some sort of place to set up services. None of the services that I'm planning to provide takes a lot of space, so there might not be a traditional table and booth. There might be, I'm not sure yet, but I will have some sort of thing there to show that I am there. My services that you'll know me for are there, and you know that if I'm there, that these things will happen in the event. Okay, that was the question. Great, that was the question I missed. Guys, listen, I don't stream a ton, and there's all these words and trolls and DJ trolling, especially in in the chat. Yep. But yep. So I think that's everything. You guys are awesome. I just assumed you hated me, so I don't. No, I just. um, DJ, you know I love you. League. All right. I think that's it. DJ, if you have a serious question, I'm willing to answer it. But I think that's it. Are you going to? All right. I'm cutting it off. Because this is gonna go on YouTube. Thank you again. So thank you, Game Underground, for letting me stream on their event. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for supporting the Kickstarter. If you have questions, let me know. And that's it. So doors will be open, and I'll start being at events mid-October after the Kickstarter gets funded. I'll buy them and start going out that week. And you'll start to slowly see the social media, the Twitter and the Facebook groups, and that's it. I think that's it. Thanks, guys, for watching. I'm going to turn it off, and I'll see you guys later.